This Sunday on episode 34 of Eye on Dependency, reality Dependency, reality radio at its best.
This organization rose to prominence in February of 2021 when, after seeking permission from the TTPS to join a search for a missing woman.
Because of our knowledge in terms of how we navigate the terrain of Trinidad and Tobago, he acceded to the request and we conducted report.
Since then, this team has conducted over 400 missions, recovered dozens of bodies, with a 32-member team spread across the country. This Sunday on Eye on Dependency, Garth and Natasha welcome Captain Valence Rambarat of the Hunters Search and Rescue Team to tell us more about this group of conscientious citizens. Why do they do it? Listen live from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. The Counter-Trafficking Unit, Ministry of National Security, brings you Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to Eye on Dependency right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, Garth. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Happy Sunday to you. And again, for those of you joining us online on our Facebook Live or YouTube Live, please remember to like the live. It really does help us get our lives to more eyeballs.
Yes, it does.
That helps keep us on the air.
Yes. And we thank you very much, you constant, loyal supporters of Eye on Dependency who have been with us for the past 20 plus years. This will be 24 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we thank you very much for being a support, your words of encouragement, and for the work that we do. Trust me, it doesn't start and end here on this program. Whole week we work before we come here to put things together to you. Storm and Tom is still with us, and we have a very special guest with us this morning who as well have been doing human service to Trinidad and Tobago, which is the Hunters Search and Rescue Team. And we are very fortunate to have the captain of the team here with us this morning, Captain Valence Rambarat. Just learned this morning that he's the brother of Minister Clarence Rambarat. We never knew that. I don't know how many of you all knew that, or they knew that, but I never knew that, and that was a startling revelation here this morning. But then we understand when he continued speaking, we heard the voice. So he's welcome here with us this morning for this long overdue interview. And what the captain will do this morning, when we take a break and return, we will speak. He walked with receipts. He will tell you about the origins of this hunter search and rescue team. We have, and he came with evidence of the work that they do. So those of you who can jump on YouTube or Facebook, you will see we have a 10-minute presentation for you and his team, with his team at work in various locations across Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, he will tell us what we're seeing. He will narrate for you what we're showing on screen. And then we have a parade of persons who are still missing for you to see. Some of them you might have forgotten. Some of them that you didn't know they were missing. We'll show you that this morning so you can have it as a keepsake, because you know you can go back to this program when we're done and you will see the persons who are still missing in Trinidad and Tobago. And then also we have pictures of his team. We want to thank Ria for a part of his camp who stayed with, supported us during the week by sending us these videos and pictures. So we're going to show you that too as well. I'm really excited. We are, Natasha.
Indeed. And we want to hear a little bit more about the man that is Valence Bharat and how he got into this kind of work. We know that, well, from our discussions before we started, that he has a career in education. That's where it started. So we're very interested to explore that and to identify really what motivates him still at his age, with his wealth of experience, what motivates him and his team to do the volunteer work that they do.
Yeah, from an educator to a bloodhound. What a transition. Morning, Captain.
Pleasant good morning to Gav and Natasha. It's a pleasure to be on your Dependency program this morning and on I-95.5 FM. So a pleasant good morning to your listenership as well as your viewership on all the social media platforms. Really, this program was started, Gat and Natasha, for 2 Sundays ago, but
yes.
You know, we do keep a busy schedule, and today the team has something on, so I want to shout them out there in Blanchishes.
Yes.
We have a family day on in Blanchishes, but I would not have turned you down for a 3rd consecutive Sunday.
Yeah, but if you tell me that, I tell you, no, turn me down, go and enjoy your day with the family and then come on next
They
Sunday.
have a day of pilau there for lunch and they're actually frying bacon shack on spot down at Three Pools by the Spring Bridge.
Oh,
hello.
Wow.
After lunch. So it's a pleasure to be here and to share with you some of the work of Hunter Search and Rescue Team. We're currently 3.5 years old. We've done a lot of work. I don't know when the team started if all this work was envisioned, but what it certainly turned out to be currently is that we're overwhelmed with work. And
imagine that.
Yeah, and the second thing about it is that the country has to ask itself this question: have we filled a gap? Was there always a need for such a thing in this country? And have we filled the gap? And probably in terms of their assessment, they could tell us, how have we done in terms of filling that gap, in terms of assisting families whose loved ones go missing? And maybe if we didn't get out there, their loved one would just have been a not found statistic.
So we'll discuss all of that?
All of that coming up, with a tremendous amount to talk about.
Yes, so we go to this break, folks. Get yourself together. And when we return, we have a nice discussion with Captain Valence Bharat. Somebody called and asked how he got the name Captain. Did he serve in the military or what? We found that out too as well. So you're going to hear all about that when we return. Stay right there. You're listening to Our Dependency. We'll be back.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. We know that you would have heard this.
Fed up at the boom, fed up at the bang, fed up at the warring, fed up at the gangs.
Now we are calling on talented youth under the age of 24 to answer the call. We will provide you with the instrumental. All you have to do is fill it with your own lyrics.
Yo, my name is Willie Ben, and me come for deal with all them geezer and pull them out like hair on a tweezer.
Well, not like that, but your own conscious lyrics.
Answer the call and you can win a professional music video and audio recording, thousands of dollars in prizes. Make your team of 5. Grab your smartphone and 4 of your friends. Download the beat from the link on the Call to Order TT and Ministry of National Security Instagram pages and create your call video with your own lyrics. Post it to Instagram with the hashtags Call to Order Project or 1MNS and look out for the results.
This is the Call to Order Project, powered by the Ministry of National Security.
$50 by $20, $50 by $25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Ion Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Ion Dependency, and again we have Captain Valence Rambarath in studio of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team. But I wanted to start a little bit with Mr. Barratt, the captain's.
Yeah, how did you get the name captain?
All right, well, the captain came about on our first search when, but not too assertive on that first hour of the search, but people, the persons who were there recognized that one man calling the shots here. He went into the police station, he met with the senior soup, he came back out, this is the man, and then they started within an hour to call me captain.
Oh, and it stuck.
That name stuck ever since.
Okay.
And throughout all our searches, at the start, it stuck. It was captain, and that's how the name stuck on him. So I do have a military background. My career path has been in education. I served as a teacher, school principal, school supervisor. I retired as a school supervisor in the education system. I also had a hunting background. I am from a hunting family in Rio Claro, and I grew up in that environment of a forested area. My father was a forest officer. My mother is still a preschool teacher at 79 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so that education and that hunting was always there in the family, right?
Mm.
So that's the background. If you had asked me before the Andrea Barratt search, if I would have gone into the search and rescue, I would say the answer would have been no.
So were you retired at that time?
No. I was on pre-retirement leave when that happened.
As a teacher?
As a school supervisor.
School supervisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
When that happened. And so on during that Andrea Barratt situation, I looked at the police officers. They were searching in Ontario, kind of Duranta Gardens, Jacob Settlement area, which I knew, in Sandy Grande. And I said to myself, let me place a call to the TTPS and see if they will accept the hunters to join in the search. And they did. They did. We asked to report to the Sandy Grande police station, and we did a tremendous amount of searching on day 1, day 2, day 3. In fact, by day 3, we were running the show. We were literally going out there on our own and just searching. And I think after that search, very interesting, I got. I was approached by the then DCP, Joanna. She was in charge of operations. So Andreas Barratt body was found on Thursday, the 5th of February. And she called me on the Thursday and she said, Mr. Rambarath, I want to organize a whole sweep of our repo. let's check the entire area. Because there were reports coming out that bodies was thrown all over there.
Yes.
And I said, I will organize.
So Joan Archie was in charge of operations at that
Yeah.
time. Okay, wonderful.
I said, I will organize. Garth and Natasha, we had Thursday, we organized for the Sunday. You have truckloads of police officers, fire officers, army personnel, and maybe about 18 hunters. We had already gone and demarcated on the roadway all the kilometer marks for start and search stop. But we knew where the 1 kilometer mark was, 2, 3, 4. On Sunday morning, every single person on that search got breakfast from Subway, courtesy Hunter Search and Rescue Team.
Thank you, Subway.
All meals were provided by us. Ropes, everything. And we broke up into segments and we did the entire 9 kilometers thing. We had lunch, courtesy Hunter Search and Rescue Team. Remember, we had even formed a team from KFC for lunch for every single officer on that search. And we did recover some bones that may have appeared to be human bones. We never heard of it afterwards. But the exercise was a fruitful one. But I just showing you, in 3 days, Thursday, Fridays, in 3 days we were able to organize all of that. And I think the guys who were there, they looked at everything and said, listen, we have to continue this. We have to continue to help families whose loved ones go missing. And I said to them, listen, if I get into something, it's not start and stop. And the second thing is, if I get into something, it must be excellent, right? So you must have all the bases covered. You must know all the elements involved and be excellent at everything you do. And I think Garth and Natasha, I think we reached the point now where you're seeing the work of the team, and you're seeing that excellence coming through. You're seeing the effectiveness and efficiency of the team coming through now, and you're seeing the skills of the team coming through now.
Now, before we move forward, Andrea Barth, that case captured national attention.
Yeah.
And when you all went in, did you go in there with we have to find this young lady?
Yeah, we had to. We went in there with that. But remember, we were there being guided by the police. Remember, they were probably, it was an intelligence-driven operation. They had the area locked down. They knew what area. I will give them that. They knew it was northeastern. Heights of Aripo back to Sangre Grande, and perhaps down to Manzanilla. So we were working from Manzanilla, come up north, and then we were working westward. So we had just finished the Valencia quarry. That's 12 o'clock when the word came that the scrap iron dealer found the body on Heights of Aripo, because there we were going next.
Okay.
But there was an intensity about the whole situation, and when you look back, that was Carnival Friday.
Oh, right.
It had no carnival.
For your team?
No, for the country. So Garth and Natasha, that news about Andrea Barth would not have come through as it came through had we had Carnival Friday.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was because there was a paucity on news. No carnival. The place dead. That news came through as how it came through. The nation was gripped.
So that was around COVID time?
Yeah, it was.
That was 2021.
Yeah, just prior to the lockdown.
I see.
Yeah, just prior to the lockdown. The lockdown came, well, COVID really came about in March. This was about February the 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Her body was found on the 4th of February. So we were now going into the COVID period for schools to shut down and that type of thing.
That was, again, a unique circumstance in the country that propelled, your entry into this field of search and rescue. And it's, as you mentioned, it would not have been possible if the country was not fixated on this young lady. Had you or any members of your team had any interaction or communication with the family.
Yeah. Her father keeps in contact with me as well as her uncle.
Mm.
I had met both of them at the police station. The father, when we meet and we have discussions or we talk on the phone, there is nothing related to Andrea Barrett really. But we discuss what he likes. So he likes to fix his electronics and stuff, and the brother similarly. He likes. We talk about what they like and what we do, and they continue to praise the work of the team. I want to tell you all something. When we find, it's hardly likely that the families will ever see us again. You know,
Right.
I like to describe it in this way: we like ninjas. We move in, we find. We will stay on board with the police. If there's extra work to do in terms of extraction of the body, we help them. And after that, we're gone. We don't interfere with the family's mourning period unless they call us to ask us some question or so. But to say go visit, and we're not into that. We just jump in there, we have the families, we locate, and we jump out.
Now, hunting for you was a part of your daily life, or was just a hobby or something you like to do? And for the sake of the listener, what does it require to be a bushman or bushwoman?
Well,
because there's a difference, eh?
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, there are people who not good in the bush at all.
There are certain people like me
Yes.
who would not know, the basics of how to survive, how to navigate.
Yeah, well, this is
non-urban surroundings.
Because before you go, I could tell you, I don't know if it's the same now, but the soldiers who really shone in the military for us, because back then the military, you didn't have subject, but the countrymen were the ones that were
carried.
Yes, I mean, I from Point, I grew up in Moruga. There were people from Far Cedras, Toko, Point 14, Guaguayari, Mayaro. These were the soldiers. Tobago, because the bush was like second nature.
Yeah.
How?
Well, Garth and Natasha, I grew up in Rio Claro, my hometown, and there we live. Rio Claro is basically on the periphery of one of the largest forested areas in Trinidad and Tobago. They call it the Victoria Miaro Forest Reserve. Starting Guayari, it comes up to Rio Claro, shift to Tabla and Moruga, and then back there, if you know Garth, Saunders Road and things like that.
Yeah.
So, like any other thing, the forest was our playground. And it was where we spent a lot of our July, August vacation exploring rivers and streams and hills and whatnot. And when the hunting season came around, we would participate in hunts. We learned the skills, and it's a very interesting sport. Now, just to make a plug for hunting, if I may, 98% of Trinidad and Tobago is against hunting because they see hunters as just gatherers of meat and destroying the environment, and that's not so. God, if you grew up from Moruga, has Moruga basically changed in its outlook in terms of vegetation and that type of thing from since you were down there to now?
Yes, a bit because of the infrastructure.
Right, but apart from that, if you only go to the back there and you see the forest, they are just the same.
Just the same, yeah. Going
so
up the main
it
road,
tells you that the countryside people, and you're talking about people from Toko to Castara to anywhere, the countryside people has managed the environment properly. You want the biggest avocados, you want the biggest sapodilla, you want the biggest plum. You know to go by Tanti and then down in the countryside.
The biggest
But you're not appreciating the fact that for over centuries, these same people have managed their forests properly, has managed the wildlife in the forest properly, has caretaken the thing okay.
Yes.
And so those people who grow up in the town and want to be keyboard warriors is all right. But most importantly, We took the hunting skills and we've now transferred that to our search skills. So for instance, while searching, we would know where a human being moved through. All right? We look for broken bushes and many other things.
So you have tracking skills, basically.
Yeah, a slide, a slip, a fall. You will watch somebody going down the road, they will see a whole bunch of grass and say, oh, let me check in the back of the grass. I say, but where the person passed? They had to pass right here. So you look for entry points. And once human beings pass, they do leave a trail. Except it's the really harsh dry season, you know, but still you'll find overturned leaves. You understand? You're walking through a bamboo grove, you must see a leaf or two turn over, looking differently. And our ability to spot differences in the environment is what makes us so good. So we could walk through anything and look and observe, spot a man hanging on a tree. Right? We can spot a man hanging on a tree because it looks different to what you're accustomed to. And so far, we've done about 5 suicides by hanging in remote areas.
Wow. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and if you're hearing a familiar voice, that's the voice of Captain Valence Rambarat, and from the Hunter Search and Rescue Team. He's with us this morning, and thank you all for joining us. As usual, you mentioned something there, Captain, that reminded me what when we were training, what Barbell used to tell us when they're setting up ambush. They said nothing natural is equally spaced. So, which means then, if you're setting up an ambush, the man next to you wouldn't be 5 feet away from you, and then the next man 5 feet.
Correct.
So, is what the captain just explaining here? Nothing natural is equally spaced.
Yes. Obviously, because if you, as you employing the skills of a hunter, which personally I am not in favor of, but I understand the concept of if you're tracking an animal and you're familiar with the animal's terrain and territory, you would know how to track that animal, find that animal, and do what you need to do. And the same is true for humans.
For human beings, it's the same. So we just transfer the skill to search skills, and we search for human beings.
Yep.
And when we show the video, we're going to show a video, 10-minute, 25-second video of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team in action. And when I talk about snake, I saw some snake, at least 2 snakes in that video, that they were huge. And, you know, if there's one thing I could tell you as a soldier, a snake is snake for me. I really didn't like snake.
But this is the harmony with the environment, the flora and fauna that people like yourself
grow up loving snakes. And we don't harm them unless someone is really threatened. And so I'm 60 years now. And there's only one time I ever killed a mapipi snake. And that is because I thought a lady, a female, she was 2 persons behind me. And I thought she would have been threatened. I thought she was, the mapipi was making, heading into her direction. And I didn't know how she would have reacted.
I hope you could give us
So I had to end its life. But generally, we love snakes on the team, and we protect them wherever we go.
No, so is there, and I hope you could help us with that before you go with us today, about certain things you prepare for and how you prepare yourself before you enter the forest. And, you know, if whether it's a ritual or whether it's you just, you know, you put on mosquito repellent or...
we do those things, but we pray because Papa Boy is there for us all the time. Yeah.
Who, Papa Boy?
Papa Boy?
Yeah, he's there for us. Protector of the forest.
Yes.
And once we enter the forest and we don't do anything wrong in the forest, he's always there to protect us. This is the hunter's belief.
Papa Boy.
Papa Boy is a real thing.
Yeah, I know, but the first time
forest. This is what hunters believe. That if they take care of the forest, they only go in there to take what they need and not what is wanted, or they don't overhunt. They don't chop bushes or trees recklessly.
Right.
And they take care of the forest, that they will return to their families safely. This is a belief system which is carried by the hunter. And this is what has guided hunting throughout the past few centuries. And so once you take care of your forest, you don't interfere, you don't damage anything recklessly, then you're allowed to return safe to your family. If you do it over a period of time, something will happen to you in the forest. Yeah? So that's our belief system, and that's real.
I believe that. I believe that.
But we do say our prayer before we get into any mission. Yeah.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are having a conversation with head of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team, Captain Valance Rambarat. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to share some of that footage we told you about that the Hunter Search and Rescue Team shared with us, and we want to share it with you so you can have an appreciation of the terrain that they cover and the work that they do. And, you know, all praises to Papa Bois, they're still here with us, and we're going to continue to celebrate this unit because they really become an important part of our fabric here in Trinidad and Tobago. So stay right there. We'll be back with Captain Valance Rambarat at the Hunter Search and Rescue Squad. And remember, folks, pay attention to the call to order video especially. Have you all been submitting, or have you all been encouraging your youngsters to submit videos to the call to order promotion and doing their video? Listen to it, and we'll be back. Stay right there.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. We know that you would have heard this. Fed up at the boom, fed up at the bang, fed up at the warring, fed up at the gangs. Now we are calling on talented youth under the age of 24 to answer the call. We will provide you with the instrumental. All you have to do is fill it with your own lyrics.
Yo, my name is Willie Ben, and me come for deal with all them geezer and pull them out like hair on a tweezer.
Well, not like that, but your own conscious lyrics.
Answer the call and you can win a professional music video and audio recording, thousands of dollars in prizes. Make your team of 5. Grab your smartphone and 4 of your friends. Download the beat from the link on the Call to Order TT and Ministry of National Security Instagram pages and create your call video with your own lyrics. Post it to Instagram with the hashtags Call to Order Project or 1MNS and look out for the results.
This is the Call to Order Project, powered by the Ministry of National Security.
Slavery, a terrible time in our history. The kidnapping, buying and selling of people for profit, the exploitation of another human being. It still exists today. It has a new name: human trafficking. Anyone can be a victim. There is forced labor, sexual exploitation, and domestic servitude. Human trafficking is a worldwide problem and an emerging concern for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. If you know of or suspect human trafficking activity, call the Counter-Trafficking Hotline at 800-4CTU or 800-4288. Human trafficking is a crime. Identify it, report it, stop it. A message from the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security.
50 by 20, 50 by 25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Ion Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you for tuning in on I-95.5 FM and as well on our live streams on Facebook and YouTube. And please, can you take a minute, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, to like the live? Just hit the like button, huh? It really does help us get seen on these platforms, and it really does help us stay on the air. So please, take a little second out of your day, out of your time watching us. Good morning to everybody. Please like the live. Thanks.
It's a pleasure for us to be here with Captain Valence Rambarath. Somebody just asked me, what's the relation to... And yes, he's the brother of Clarence Rambarath. So, blood brother, that is. Hear the voice now and you'll make the connection. So, Captain, you wanted to explain something to us? And give us
I
some
just
time.
wanted to say this. Since we started in 2021, what we've noticed is in terms of reports coming to us, we're rounding out each year at about 600 missing persons per year in Trinidad. Okay. Now we have them categorized. We have the 18 and under, boy, male and female. And for the past 3 years, we've been able to account for all of those. Okay. All right? So when a teenager runs away and you find people raise the issue of human trafficking and organ transplant and these things, the research and the statistics isn't showing that. What is indeed showing is that they go on their own beat or whatsoever, and they do return home, and so that 18 and under category we don't have a problem with. Over the past 3 years, we've assisted about 2,000 persons there to reunite with their loved one in that regard, alive. And so we continue as a team to help those. We deploy numerous devices to parents, and we talk to them on the phone, and we help them get back their loved ones.
Before you go on, Captain, is there a time frame that you look at in terms of these under 18, these children? Is there a time frame that you would say you would determine this is not a case of human trafficking? Or, of course, if you find the person, but is there like a window?
Yeah, within a few hours, we able to determine whether the person left home voluntarily, and that's the key, right?
Yes.
So if you left home, you know, sometimes it's all about social media. The person was kidnapped and abducted, and it turns out that they left voluntarily.
Okay.
So we don't have a problem with the 18 and under. A couple cases we don't report them as found because, to be honest, some of these girls leave home because of sexual abuse and other things, right?
Yes.
Sometimes when they are found, we don't even put them as found alive. We keep their locations secret.
Because somebody asked me that question too, to ask you about why is it that when people are found, and this is something I had concerns about too, that all we hear is they've been found, thank you very much for your love and support,
because
and
we have
just
to be
move on.
very careful with the law. The law with respect to minors, it is very detailed. It is very tricky, and you have to read the law, and that is why we provide little or no information when the minors are found.
Okay.
Right? We elaborate more when the adults are found.
Yes.
But we have to be guided by the laws of the land, that Children's Act, in the Sexual Offences Act, in everything. We have to be guided by that, and we have to be mindful at all times that someone under 18 or 18 and under is still a child.
And it has to be protected as such.
Have to be protected at all costs, right? Yep. So sometimes we see it on our page, you're not saying this, but we're not taking it up. We understand the law, and we understand who is that child. And we have to protect children at all costs. The second category is the 18 to 50, and this is where you have most of our problems. Gat and Natasha, this is where, this is one of the bands we have problems with. And you find that our statistics are showing that on the average, we cannot account for about 46 to 55 persons per year. All right? Now, there are some that will be accounted for. Like we have five missing fishermen from Cedros. We had 2 from Caranage and 2 from Moruga. That is 9. That's for 2024 so far. But you have other areas, such as you will have murder victims inside of there. You will have suicides. You will have drowning, lost. So this area is an area this age group we pay particular attention to, because the vast majority of the persons who are unaccounted for at the end of the year comes from this category. I would have sent you some persons who could not account for 2024. Let's look at 2024. So, and
yes, we're going to show that list in a while. We're
and 2023 as well. And these persons, I mean, they could not have simply vanished off the face of the earth. Something had to happen to them. You have 2 females inside there, Isis James and Akisha Worrell. Isis James from Princeton, Akisha Worrell from Diego Martin, unaccounted for. Christina had said, unaccounted for. She's a penal businesswoman, never found. And I have a student inside there who I taught at primary school. His name is Vivian Samaro, hard-working young man, worked in the oil industry, and when he had his days off, he used his car to work. He worked his car, and he just disappeared. And I taught him in primary school, and so this is the age group. Now, on the other hand, 50 to 80, I deliberately sent you 2 or 3 82-year-olds who are missing. Mr. Bayam, Alzheimer's, from Arima. His wife, they just visited Pennywise. He was in the car. She stepped out to get something in Pennywise. And when she returned, he wasn't there. And up to now, we've never found Mr. Bayam. And then you have Wakis there again, Ram Barak, 80-something years old. Never found, Alzheimer's. And so the list goes on. There's a Reginald there as well, Cardinal, yeah. And we haven't found him, 83 or 84 years on Barpaw. We searched down there for 12 days in Can't. So there's an issue on the elderly side with dementia and, well, Alzheimer's is a part of dementia, right? So with that issue. And we keep seeing it popping up over and over again, where they walk away, they get lost.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Our Dependency, and where every life is a biography. And there's a group. Now, there are a number of other search groups in the country, right? And you never took that away from them. And there's one engaging right now on Facebook, and I want to say to you, if you want to highlight your team, contact us, and we will do the same for you. But do not use our platform to attack anyone. This is not the type of program for that. All right? I beg of you, we respect our guests, we protect our guests and guard them jealously and seriously. We don't take that. This is not the program for that. All right? We never deny highlighting any group. And like I said, if you want to highlight your group that's doing the work in Trinidad and Tobago, then come with receipts, and we're going to highlight you as well, because that is what we're all about. Our positivity as well. We just wanted to change direction a bit with our programming today so that we can give a citizen and his team some flowers.
Yes.
Right? Their names have been in the public domain since helping find Andrea Barrett, and they continue to do great work. As we're going to show you now in this video, we want to do that so that we can take some calls for them from the public and let the public tell them and Captain here and convey to his team how we feel about the work that they've been doing. But we want to keep, this is Sunday morning, and we're always mindful of that, and we always want to have a little reverence in what we're doing. All right, so appreciate that kindly, I ask. And shortly when I get a chance, let's go to video A, and let's show the public some of the terrain that, and we will keep the mic on so the captain can tell us what we're seeing and what part of the country this was. And, you know, because I saw a video with you all going through some Vietnam-looking type river with green on top of it. You know, I mean, you know, I am telling you, I've not even service personnel and going in that. I could tell you that.
And I'm sure most of the citizens don't know the variety of terrain that we have in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes. And the geography of the country.
Yes.
We're very unaware.
Yes, we're very unaware
Town
because
people like
we
us.
only see the end result of your work.
Yeah.
And
And we do not own the rights to the music used in this video. We want that to be clear, and we have put up on the screen that no copyright infringement is intended.
all right. So this is a briefing you have going on here, Captain.
So that this one on the video there going on there, there's a joint, what you call a joint police team search effort. What you're seeing now is that's how we engage in prayer before we start a mission, and right after the prayer is the briefing session by the captain.
Which terrain is this we're looking at here?
This looks like, that is Muruga. That is Muruga.
Okay.
Yeah, we were down there on a search for a gentleman's son who was missing. He never found up to now, so that's down Muruga. Again, that's a joint police hunter search and rescue team operations. Right? We carpool up to a certain point and then we jump onto our vans. We are allowed by the TTPS to utilize the vans and go on the vans to conduct our searches so that we could effectively and efficiently move through the roads, those rural roads, forested roads.
So this what we're looking at here, this
training
or?
No, that's an actual search where we had to be approaching these hunters' camp. We were looking for something specific for the police, right? Here, there's a type of vegetation we clearing the path for the vehicle to go ahead, so there's a lot of balisade there.
Oh, so you have to clear.
Yeah, you have to clear the road to get in and watch the condition of the road. Watch your van. It's bumping up and down.
That's not a road, that's a trace.
Yes, but that's where we go.
Wow.
Right?
And this house.
Those are the guys on the van here moving. Most likely it's rain falling there. We're trying to get a grasp of.
So this what we're looking at here.
Yeah, again,
another search.
That's a joint police search with us. So we're looking for specific things. This is how we approach the hunters' camp out there. You understand? We have to be careful when maneuvering. Not every hunter camp approach like that, but again, we are looking for something.
Because while you're doing all of that, you all have to look out for trap guns and all of these things.
Yeah. We're looking for trap guns and every other thing.
So
but there's a hunter's code, eh? There's a hunter's code. When you go in a particular area, you have to talk to people and they will disappear and then say everything is okay. So.
Okay. But then you have to have a very keen eye too for traps and all of these things.
Yeah, you have to have a keen eye. Yeah. So we always ask people to look where you step in.
So there's a nighttime search here now.
Yeah, that's a nighttime search they're on right now.
What area is this,
All right, that's Central Trinidad there. That you're seeing there, yeah.
So the navigating at night.
The vegetation, there's more grassy than anything else.
Yes. And when you're doing searches at night, obviously a little more dangerous.
No, actually, we feel it's easier. But
so?
Well, in the sense that it's cooler, you use less energy. But the logic behind searching really is that you see more in daylight than in night.
Yes.
So, but we simply are very good at night searches.
Well, look at this snake. This is a boa constrictor.
Yeah, that's a boa constrictor.
Wow.
So he would have been located.
Awesome.
Yeah. This guy's just relaxing after a search. You see Hulk there with the radio.
Yes.
The police vehicle in the back accompanying us on the search.
Yep.
That's in Muruga, I believe, again. Yeah.
So you'll often encounter, you will encounter, wildlife on your
A lot of
on your
wildlife,
searches.
a lot of snakes. Yeah.
A lot of
We
snakes.
don't interfere with them, they don't interfere with us, and we move on. In
Yeah.
this clip here,
Mhm.
I don't know if Gat, you remember this? Where the 5-year-old girl was
Yes,
found down in Erin
in a river.
after spending 15 hours
Yes.
out there. Yeah, she fell into a river.
Yes, remember that.
She fell 5 p.m. in the afternoon in the ravine behind her house, and we got her 10 the next morning, alive.
Yes, that was tremendous. That she was able to.
So we able
keep
to
her-
navigate rough terrain using ropes and stuff.
Yes.
So I seen some rappelling went on there just now. That was a cave or something?
Yeah, that's inside a cave. That's on the north coast. This is where we went up to plane crash site to get this guy who was lost.
So if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are in studio here.
Again, another. We went to rescue that one.
Oh.
He was on behind a chicken farmer's his chicken shed.
So they call you out
and they
to
call us
capture
to
it.
remove the snake.
It. It's one of the largest I have ever seen.
Wow.
I was there for that one. This is Christina had set search down in Penal district there. Yeah, we had to utilize. This is the one we have to talk a bit about this one in Las Lomas, where we found the burned bones of Dalapram Jadu. Yeah, we could talk a bit about that.
Pause the video a bit. So talk about it. Tell us what.
Yeah, so in that case, the gentleman was missing for 4 days. We got a distress call on the 3rd day. We were there the next morning. I made sure that we reached there for 11, and we started to search. But just as we passed the back of his house, we didn't observe a fire. They told us it was rubbish. Didn't pay too much attention to it. And we went on searching for 5 hours. When we didn't find the gentleman, we decided to revisit the fire. And just as we revisited the fire, we were able to observe what appears to be the burnt remains of a human body, the burnt bones.
Right.
We were able to contact the TTPS, and they came, and the scene was processed, and a gentleman who was in the house right there was charged just a couple of days ago for murder.
Wow.
But I want to make this point. If we didn't reach there, if we didn't spot the bones at 4 p.m., and that fire had gone on for the next few hours, it would have erased every trace of human bones. So we got there in time. We spotted it in time, just enough to get enough evidence for the police to process and turn that into a murder charge. And I think that speaks to how valuable our search skills are and what we look for and how observant we are when we're out there. Because I think anybody else passing there would have said, but that rubbish burning.
Yeah.
But we were able to spot the burnt human bones.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Annette. Go ahead with the video short, man. We have more to show you. And Annette Maguire, thank you very much for you're one of the principal on our Facebook page here. And
Yes,
thank
and
you for watching our
moderator
back here.
duties. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And let's have some professionalism. You're right, Annette. Please let us be professional. We're celebrating the life of a group of people who have dedicated their time to assist the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and other agencies in locating people that
missing.
gone missing. And most of the time, they have a great track record. And if you have another group out there, you want it to be highlighted, we will do the same. It's nothing. Every life is a biography. That's one of our taglines. Remember that. You were telling us something here.
Yeah, just before this picture there, we were doing some work with the Carapo Prison Youth Club up in Manzanilla, and we continued this session this year with them. So we have that ongoing relationship with Carapo Prison Youth Club. And then we do outreach programs to various schools. We were up in the Rincon community a short while ago, not too long ago, doing programs, training children in terms of safety.
The Rincon boy, that name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was one of our favorite places as soldiers, Rincon.
Is that a river? Or please enlighten us. What is the Rincon, Mr.
Well,
Gad?
Rincon would have gotten its name from the Rincon waterfall, but it's just about the same place as Las Cuevas on the north coast. So there's Rincon Road there that takes you to a beautiful waterfall called Rincon Waterfall. It's a nice community inside there.
So you have ladies in your group as well?
Oh yeah, we have. So it's 32 of us, 30 in Trinidad, 2 in Tobago, and we have 8 females with us on board in the 32.
They just like the drama, or they're
No,
hunters as well?
No, they go into the forest with us.
They go into the
all
forest
go
with
into
you?
the forest with us.
Yes, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, look at them.
Yes, they all go into the forest with us. And another thing about the team is that we have a good ratio in terms of experience and youth. So, like myself, we have our 4 or 5 others, retirees, who form the core group. 4 retirees form the core group in terms of experience in searching and that type of thing. And then we have another core group, very good as well. But on a search, you would need about 12 persons.
Okay.
And then you have the supply chain where people will join you after work. People will join you on weekends. Additional members would come out at different times. So they all get their experience. And the youth, they are now in charge of our social media platforms.
Yes,
They run everything with ICT. They actually, one of our members left for France yesterday to pursue.
Hold, stick up in. This is the video I'm talking about. Where
Anil
was this?
Maraj is a taxi driver who went missing from down in Arena Village, which is Rancho Camarado area.
Short man, you could go back to that green looking stuff in that river there. I want people to see the extent. You know, I know we're giving you work this morning, right,
Yes.
short man? But if you could go back a little bit and pause it, where we just saw there that 2 people inside that algae covered pond. So what you went in there for actually?
Right. So Anil Maraj is the taxi driver. He's from down Erin Way, Lucero. So the police would have had the information that probably his remains were dumped in ponds in the area. So they took us down there, and we executed quickly in terms of searching the pond. So I will tell you this, you think you need to get skin suits and oxygen tanks. We don't operate like that, you know. If you watch the picture carefully, I hope you could find it. There are 2 Stereotex buoys supporting the persons in the water, and there are lengths of rope connecting to the banks. So we always support them to make sure that nothing happens to them. And they feel with their feet carefully.
Yes, short man.
Look this one.
Yes, this is
so
what
if you watch under them carefully, look on the one closer to the right.
There's a white thing under his arm.
There's this buoy, and that's connected to the pond bank, right? Where we are holding it. And the other gentleman too, his buoy has to be somewhere right there as well. So they just wouldn't go into the water without any protection. Now we've learned about in swamps and ponds, you need to go in there with less clothing, and if needed, bare feet.
Bare feet? I'm not going to ask you that. So
bare feet,
no steel-toe boots and all that. So nothing to bite.
No, you don't. The only thing to bite you inside them, nothing absolutely. Maybe a little crab or a little fish or something.
A little crab.
Might nibble at your foot, but there's nothing to fear inside there.
So these guys had on what, just short pants and bare feet going in that
short
pond?
pants. In fact, one of them just had on boxers. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
All right, so we did a search in the Narva swamp. We found that gentleman. I think if we didn't go there, we would have never found him. And it is at the Narva swamp that we learned from the villagers that when you're going into these types of waters, the less you wear,
is
better, and you come out, you fare well, but your safety gears is those white buoys, and we holding it at the other end. So these are things we learn. We went through the response quickly, because if you have to throw a body from on top of the pond, you make sure you search right around.
Now, Trinidad
Not
and Tobago,
necessarily in the middle.
what we're looking at here is just pure dedication and love for what they're doing, because I am telling you, you can't see anything below this water where these two men standing right now.
No.
So what they have is a rod to do search below, fan it as they go.
Yeah, and what he testing there is the depth as he goes along to
Right.
make sure he don't go below in
Under.
deeper water. So he would be testing the depth of the water, and they search right around the pond.
And no, Abigail is asking if this is a paid occupation. No, this is
No,
not.
this
They
is
are not
pure
paid.
volunteer work, and
Yes.
it's volunteer work as its best. It's a model for the nation actually to look
Yes.
on. Is for young people to look and see whether they want to get into this type of thing. Volunteering your time and your energy and your effort, you may be able to do so part-time, and that is where you can help build a nation and fill gaps and help families and do all sorts of things.
So are they tethered? Do you have a rope around their waist?
Yeah, they're on the waist, onto the buoy, and from the waist it's back up to the top of the pond, where you'll have 4 or 5 guys holding that rope as they move around.
Did you all ever encounter, like going through this kind of terrain, anybody ever got bitten by a caiman or
No, we don't afraid those things.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
okay,
people in Trinidad ever get bitten by a caiman, Gat and Natasha?
They're not the
There was
ferocious
one on social
animals.
media where the guy went down in the drain or something, and it snapped at the guy. I think he got bitten.
What about the leopard?
The jaguar.
The jaguar, sorry, yeah.
We went
that
with
really
forestry.
existed?
No. I don't think we believed it existed in the first place. But I think what happened there was that the villagers made a claim.
Yes.
And you needed to go in there and set bait. They did do that.
Oh,
Set bait, put up some trail cams, just to make sure it wasn't there. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, the possibility of one being around there is greater, because that was the pathway for the illegal importation of jaguars into the country. So they passed through that way, down Palosico, you pass through Beach Camp, in the back there, hit the main road, and they got 2 in Diego Martin.
All right, short man, you can press play now. Let's
Wow.
go forward. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are in studio with Captain Valent Rambarath, head of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team, and he came with receipts. He just wants you to see some of the work that the Hunter Search and Rescue Team have been doing.
This is a display here we're doing at school. Again, we have capabilities in terms of the marine and environment. We have our life jackets, we have skill training. God, I want to add this, that currently every single member of the team is internationally certified first responders.
Oh, really?
As well
Okay.
as we've did extensive wilderness training certified, so that we're able to identify poisonous substances and poisonous animals and plants out there that could impact on a person's in terms of being dangerous to persons. So we're very qualified in that regard.
Would you recommend every citizen do a course like this?
Of course.
If something happened, let's say, and you end up in the forest alone, or you and a group of people end up in the forest, how to survive? Is it important to have
very,
that?
very important. And we had a guy, we rescued him about 3 Fridays ago in Toko. He was working with a civilian team. He wasn't familiar with the area. He was familiar with the lines they were cutting. And he happened, rather than stepping right to get back to the van, he stepped left. And he spent the night in the forest. We were able to get him at 8:30 the next morning. And so he had to spend a night in the forest. How are you dealing with that, Natasha? How are you dealing with that, God?
Yeah,
If you have had no previous knowledge, and is really to bend your head in the forest and sit down and wait until daylight. But we had those air horns with us. Went up very early in the morning, and he heard it.
So
Yeah.
All right. We're going to show that video again for those of you who are joining us late. Plus, we have pictures of missing persons who are still missing for 2024. We have a parade of that to show you as well. We're in studio with Captain Valent Rambarath. If you want to be part of this and part of celebrating this Hunter Search and Rescue team, join us on Facebook and YouTube, and you will see the members of the team and also some of the terrain that they navigate so that they can assist the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in their work. And
someone was also asking, Garth, before you go on, apart from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, what are some of the other institutions that you work with? Fire service?
Yeah, fire. We work with fire. Actually, we had a training with fire about 2 weeks ago, or 2 Sundays ago. And we work really well with fire services. I don't even remember Natasha, when the school teacher fell off the San Fernando Hill in the
Yes, unfortunately to her death.
So they had called us because they were short on lighting. And unfortunately, we could not have joined them because we were quite in Tabakit, recovering a body of a hunter. And but that was those are areas how we cooperate and we join.
Right.
The 2 guys whose vehicle we found by C3 Center there, they were on the highway, and we found the van and everything else. Worked well with fire to get the extraction done and get them out of there and stuff.
Yeah, somebody wanted to find out, from your research, are there what you call common dumping sites for bodies?
Yeah, there are common dumping sites. Recently, they discovered a body in Penal, and in discussions with the police recently. That area is an old oil field area, old oil field roads, so they use those. And we know we have a fair idea where the dumping sites are, and actually that helps. You know, it helps because as we move through Trinidad and Tobago, we know the common dumping areas. So it's a good place to start when you're looking for someone.
If you're joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Clarence
Valance.
Captain Valance Rambarath, and who's the brother, by the way, of Clarence Rambarath. So, slippery tongue, no fault of the mind. And after this break, we're going to run the video again, and for those of you joining us late, and we're going to show you a parade of persons who are still missing for 2024. You may recognize 1 or 2 of them. You may, if not, then you will be aware, and keep your eyes and ears open. When we return, also, we'd like to ask the captain about any tips that they can offer for people who, because they are nature lovers as well, and who decide, they go up in the country and they decide to take a walk. What are some of the things that you must do so that ensure that you take the right track to come back out, because that's how some people get lost, how to join the team. Of course, the last body that was found, that the captain will tell you how that happened, that was the body that was burnt and buried in a backyard recently. And what are
how to treat with wildlife in your own home and community, because we recently had an incident with a massive iguana in our yard. Of course, we're not drilled to rescue it, and so we call the El Socorro Wildlife Center to come and do
it. Our good friend Ricardo Mead came.
Yes.
So that's
because
part of the service we provide as well. The technical ones we refer to Ricardo Mead the other day. He went to retrieve a ban owl for us.
Yes.
And he does. So the technical ones he will handle. The technical ones the zoo will handle. But removal of snakes and iguanas and stuff, we do that, and we release them into the wild.
Nice. All right, so let's go to a break, and we return with Captain Valance Rambarath of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team. We'll be back.
$50 by $20, $50 by $25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. We know that you would have heard this. Fed up at the boom, fed up at the bang, fed up at the war. warring, fed up of the gangs. Now we are calling on talented youth under the age of 24 to answer the call. We will provide you with the instrumental. All you have to do is fill it with your own lyrics.
Yo, my name is Willie Ben, and me come for deal with all them geezer and pull them out like hair on a tweezer.
Well, not like that, but your own conscious lyrics.
Answer the call and you can win a professional music video and audio recording, thousands of dollars in prizes. Make your team of 5. Grab your smartphone and 4 of your friends. Download the beat from the link on the Call to Order TT and Ministry of National Security Instagram pages and create your call video with your own lyrics. Post it to Instagram with the hashtags Call to Order Project or 1MNS and look out for the results.
This is the Call to Order project, powered by the Ministry of National Security.
Ion Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
This.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to Dependency, where every life is a biography, and we are dealing with that of the Hunter Search and Rescue team today. And in studio with us is Captain Valant Rambarat, and we like to say to all members of the Hunter Search and Rescue team, good morning to you. Before we go, Shortman, let's play that video one more time for those of you who just joining us. And remember, if you missed the start, you can, after the program, you can go back to the page and get the entire production, the entire morning's program. Good morning to Ms. Joniel Williams. Good morning to you, our Facebook and YouTube loyalists. And Captain...
You know Ms. Joniel Williams was my teacher. Eh?
Was your teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
At current training. There's a hive going on to her.
Really?
Yes.
You give away the lady age, yes? But she was your teacher. Wow.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
She was an excellent English
I could just
language
imagine.
and English literature
lecturer.
Okay. And if you hear Joan speak,
yes,
you will understand why she tutored in those areas. So I want to say hi to her.
She wasn't a fair teacher too. Was she a fair teacher as well?
Well, for that person said so, but I never experienced it. It was all of it nice.
But she's a big supporter of Ion Dependency from its inception. So we always give her thanks and congratulations on her continued work serving Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, and thank you for your service, Madam Joniel Williams. And so what you're looking at here again, those of you on Facebook and YouTube, is the Hunter Search and Rescue team in action and some of the work that they have done. And this is how they mount up. They pray before they go out, and they mount up and head out to look for people who are missing. A list that we're going to show you in a moment, and then we're going to take your calls right after, so that you can give the captain some love to extend to his team, because he's heading to Blanchishes afterwards to join the team. They're having a family day up there. And what's on the menu, Captain?
Well, we have pilau for lunch, and we actually frying fried bacon shack down at Three Pools there by the Spring Bridge later on this afternoon, so it should be fun. The children are going to the Avocat Waterfall as well as Three Pools, and they're looking forward to it just before they resume school.
Yes, excellent outing.
Okay, understood. Yes, well, and of course, folks, next week, please God, we're going to have another Feel Good moment where we have 4. Remember, school is going to reopen, and we have 4 of the young ladies from the past spoken word competition in studio with us, not for that, but to tell us about young people and what we're missing with them, and some of the things that they suggest from their eyes, what they see from their eyes. It's going to be a pleasure to host them again. So we look forward to that. Young Imani Miller has a project coming up that we're going to share with you all. She's on she's doing it on a fundraising drive, and I'm sure she'll tell you more about it when she comes next week. But Natasha, Captain, for the walk through this.
Yeah, well, I mean, as we walk through the video, for those who may have missed it, Captain, you could tell us a little bit more about the educational work that the Hunter Search and Rescue Team does, because I think that's an important element and distinction that your team has in terms of imparting the skills necessary.
Well, the thing is, if missing persons are a problem, a societal problem in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to craft strategies. You have to be proactive. You have to say, if you have 600 per year, we could reduce that in probably 1 year's time to 500, and what strategies you could employ again to further reduce it. And one of the things Hunter's Search and Rescue Team has been doing is getting out to the schools. We've started with secondary schools. I know we have Tablan coming up this term. I spoke with the principal recently. She wants us there. And if we could get to the schools and share our experiences with, at least in terms of runaways and the problems associated with runaway, I think we could create an impact to reduce the amount of missing persons in Trinidad and Tobago. So education is vital, because I feel, because I'm an educator, I feel education can solve all your problems, so that it brings about behavioral change. And if the message is put forward properly, then it will impact on the minds of the young ones, and this is something I believe in. And so the more we tutor our children, and I will tell you this, Natasha, it's very hard for a young lady to leave the comfort and warmth of a parent's home or parent home to want to run away.
Correct.
And I think if you look at mother-daughter relationships, that's one of the most healthy relationships in the world. Even a mother and daughter relationship, that lasts a lifetime. Sometimes daughters don't ever get over the passing of their mothers. And what we're looking at is a daughter-mother relationship with the female runaways. And I think there are push and pull factors, and I think when a female leaves home is because they were pushed out. There are factors that were pushed out. On the other side, the pull factor may be some boy or the other who into grooming or
Correct.
What sort of things, right? So there's always a pull on the other side.
Right, so let's go to the list now of missing persons, and we'll take your calls after this. There are lists, how many on the list, Natasha?
We have several images. We have 6 images, and so I think there are 2 images per slide. So yes, we have the first one, which is
missing persons who still.
Jean-Paul Abbott and Sahadio Ramsarup.
Well, recently, Japol, we got an updated picture of him just about a week ago, right?
Okay.
Japol has been missing in the Arima district since 2023. December of 2023, and we've not been able to find him. And the reason we were not able to find him, Gat, is simply they were using an old photo.
Yes.
So we only got this photo about a week ago. So our guys in Arima, team members, they have something to work with. Additionally, he lost his left eye. So he may be using a shades or something to disguise that injured left eye. So those are 2 new pieces of information we have concerning Japol, and they should be currently searching for him while they move through the Arima district. Sadio Ramsarup came from the United States to survey a piece of land in Princestown.
And he just disappeared?
And he just disappeared off the face of the earth. We searched for this gentleman 4 or 5 days in the Princeton district, and we never found him. Actually, Mr. Ramsor is closely related to a member of the anti-kidnapping unit. Hence, we really went out of our way there and to help.
All right, next slide, short man.
He was never found.
So we have to Jean Paul.
And remember, if you know of, have any information that you can share, you can call 799 or message 799-1453 if you have any information about any of the persons we have up on the screen.
So we have Anil Maharaj.
So Anil Maharaj is a gentleman who he worked at the corporation down there in Erin. I think it's the Superior Regional Corporation. He was doing his private taxi work part-time, and he was called for a job on the 17th, I think, of March 2023. And he disappeared. However, his car was found in a roadblock some months after.
In a roadblock?
In a roadblock. And I don't think much came out of it, or they pursuing the investigations in that regard.
Yes,
but he was never found. We searched high and low for him. The pond searches you saw earlier, it was for him in his district, Lucy Road district, but nothing ever came out of him.
So we have Esmond Bayam.
And we highlighted this one because, again, Alzheimer's, dementia is a big issue with the elderly persons.
Yes.
We're getting numerous reports of missing persons in this age group, and we have to ask people to be careful with their loved ones, the elderly loved ones, and if there are tag rings now that you could purchase and keep a track of them. So Mr. Esbon, both him and his wife went to Pennywise in Arima. She stepped out to buy something. He remained in the car. And when she got back, he wasn't there. And we searched a long time for him all over because there were reported cases, reported sightings of Mr. Bayam. Justin Awai is a case up in Arima up in Digo Martin. He was a flight attendant and a very useful guy in his community, very well educated. And we did search up in the Blue Basin, upper reaches of the northern part of Digo Martin up there in the coastal areas. We were never able to bring Justin, find Justin Awai. His relatives called me recently with some new information, and we may revisit that shortly. The other guy, Vivian Samaru, I taught in primary school. A really nice guy. He was doing well with his life, working in the oil and gas industry, 14 on, 14 off, and when he came off for the 14 days, he was working his vehicle for hire. And he disappeared somewhere in North Trinidad. He came for a job, and both him and his car were never ever found to date after several searches throughout the country.
Next slide, short man. So we're going through a list of missing persons here, folks, in Trinidad and Tobago. So who are still missing, and we hope that.
Well, Christina Adset is a businesswoman from Pinal. Again, she was last seen just washing out the front of her home, just beyond the wall on the roadside. She was just spraying water and washing it out, something she accustomed doing. And she was last seen there and never seen again. So to Ram Barak, again, a case of dementia. Certainly Alzheimer's in this case. Wandered off, never to be found. And the last guy there, if you could help me with the name.
Warren Jules.
Warren Jones.
Oh.
Jules.
Warren Jules from Cedros used to hustle coconuts on the estates. He did that for more than 20 years. He pinned his coconuts and selling them to vendors. And We knew for a fact on that day he went to harvest coconuts, and he was never found. Isis James. What we know of Isis James from Princestown is that she left on the evening of the 22nd of April 2024 to visit someone in Arima. She messaged her mother to let her know that she arrived safely. She did send out her location later on, letting the mother and other relatives know where she was. That location was searched by the Arima police and nothing was ever found. And Isis remains missing up to today, never found. She left a 10-year-old, no, a 7-year-old boy in Princestown.
Oh, yes, I remember this case, yes.
Yeah.
Akisha Worrell.
Akisha Worrell, a mother again, mother of two, left her apartment in Digomartin, Pity Valley. We recovered CCTV footage which showed that she was going into a WhatsApp van. We couldn't pick up the number plate. All that information was passed on to the police. And to this day, she remains missing.
Next slide, short man. You know, it's...
Last one.
Again, boy, you know, people going missing, you don't know where they are. But what we could do, we highlighting it here this morning and hope we can assist in bringing some closure to these families.
Yes, this is the final one here.
Right, so we have two there. We have Ram Logan again from Cedros, a fisherman. He came home. Nobody saw him left. We suspected he was taken from the back of his home, passed through the forest, and taken to another road.
Wow.
We never found him. And the other guy, Radon Cardinal, this is an interesting case. The man just walked out with a little bag in his hand, 82 years old. And we searched for him up to 12 days. We have one particular member from the penal district was on this search continuously. In this search, we had the full support of the Barrackport police station. They went out with us. We went out with drones, dogs, everything for Reginald. And he was never found to date.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And he has been missing since May and no sign of him.
All right,
Anything about Reginald is Reginald showed no signs of dementia. Yeah.
Wow.
So these are the...
So these are the people...
This is just a sample. Remember, on an annual basis, you end up with about 49.
Yes.
Who remain unaccounted for.
And I could imagine, you know, there's something in the families of these missing people who still wondering what happened. You know,
of course, missing them,
you
grieving.
know, you'll never be able to get closure knowing, you know, whoever calling the captain right now, he's on the air with us at Dependency this morning. And we're going to take some calls before we run out of time for this group, this celebrated group in our midst called the Hunter Search and Rescue Team. Good morning. And we have a very special voice, I'm sure. Next. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, recognize his voice?
Yes, good morning, Garth and Natasha.
Morning.
And
Good morning, Miss Archie.
To Captain Ramrod. I had to call in because I really appreciate the work of you and your team, Mr. Rambarad. And my mind went back to our meeting for the first time and the experience in that Andrea Barrett's case. Of course, at the time, the country was looking in at what was happening and was clearly traumatized by that report. And we really needed the support. And of course, I mean, missing person remains the responsibility of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But because of what happened in that case, we needed that extra skill and expertise to launch that search, the terrain as well. But Mr. Gatt, I must say, Captain Rambarat and his team really came through for us on that occasion. And we continue to thank them for the support that they give to law enforcement and to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Captain Rambarat, thank you thank you and convey to your team for me as well. The TTPS really appreciate your service, and God continue to bless you and your team.
You're welcome, Ms. Joanna Achi, and I recall those initial days, but I want to tell you this, the rapport we have with the TTPS, it has grown by leaps and bounds, and we work very closely with the anti-kidnapping unit. They know when we're out there, what we're doing, why we're out there, and they're joining us continuously. And I think, Ms. Achi, somebody said to us, if we could contribute to missing persons, maybe it will allow the police service to focus on bigger things. If what's taking place in the country. And that to me aligns itself internationally, where you find that missing persons require a lot of resources.
Yes.
And they do eat up a lot of manpower and resources. So if we help in that regard, I think, we enjoy what we're doing.
Yes, and we appreciate what you all do. And of course, the TTPS is always extending for persons to partner with the organization.
Yeah.
We welcome persons who are willing to work alongside us in the area of law enforcement.
John Archie is an all-rounder captain. Right. I'm so happy to hear that she was head of operations.
Yeah, at that time when she made contact with us.
Ms. Archie, you made your contribution too, my dear, and we want to thank you too very much for your service. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, God and Natasha.
Indeed.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Archie. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, before we take our next call, how do you join your team if people want to join the Hunters?
Currently, to manage 32
it's a lot.
Takes a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But really, we focus on location where we have missing gaps in the country, because each member's home is our office.
Right.
We have gaps in the country. Like take for example that Flanagan, Brasso area there. We need somebody there. We need somebody in maybe additional person anywhere in Sawa Barat area.
Mm-hmm.
Or we lost our first member, Mr. Alexander Cipriani from Arima.
Mm-hmm.
He died last year November, and we've not been able to replace that person with that skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So right now I'm looking for somebody in Arima again. We have other members, but I'm looking for somebody with that kind of skill and experience.
Let's take up who's called for. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Captain Valance Rambarat of the Hunter Search and Rescue Squad. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Hello, good morning. We're having some technical difficulties, Tom?
No.
Good morning.
Say no. 6223937 is the number to call, and of course keep sending your comments on the Facebook.
Good morning, Keith Sinclair.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, operator, Mr. Rambarat. Mr. Rambarat, I want to congratulate you and your team for the wonderful work that you all are doing. It's easy to leave the warmth of your home to go in the bush and the wilderness to rescue people who have been lost. May your light continue to shine upon you and your team. Continue with your good work, and I hope that soon you all will be the recipient of a national award. Good show. Safe trip home.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, yes, good morning.
Yeah, Janet, morning.
Yeah. Right, all right. Sorry, God, good morning to you. Morning, Natasha.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Rambarat.
Good morning.
Special greeting to you, Mr. Rambarat. I follow you all on Facebook all the time. And most times when you all do the good job that you are doing, it is shown on the television. So your work is shown. It's not, like you all are doing undercover work. Your work is shown. So I thank you very much, sir. You and your team, God bless you all. The little girl that you all found by the sea is my little neighbor.
Yes.
And as I put on the live stream, I stood in my gallery watching you and the gentleman with the white hair. and another gentleman carrying a cake for her and gifts. You
Yes.
know? God
We
bless
do
you
keep in
all.
contact with her.
Yes.
And we try not to publish that, but we do keep in contact with her.
Very good. All the other teams who do the same work, God bless you all too. Thank you all very much for allowing me, and have a good week, you all. Thanks.
All right, thank you
Same
very
to you.
much. You know, and I wanted to tell another citizen to remember, he doing different work or similar work like Harvey Boris and his team,
Yes.
and Harvey's here every Wednesday, folks. You could join him too on a Wednesday afternoon from 6:30, and of course this afternoon on Trinity TV, you can join him there as well. That is Comrade Harvey Boris, who continues to work on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago too. So, another patriot. And also, remember, Imani Miller has a fundraiser coming up, and it's to help Imani get to the Model UN and All Dance America. And we tell them their goal is to raise $14,935 US. They have achieved 1,000 so far, and they accepting donations in any currency because they need to get. And remember, Imani Miller, she's the homeschooler, right? She was here on her Dependency, and we
For the CTU spoken word
yes,
competition.
and we'll have her in studio with her mom and others next week. So we want to start the ball rolling by getting the contribution. Before I go, I'll give you a phone number to contact her mom. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Natasha.
Morning.
The job well done on the program that you all put out for the consumption of us listeners. Want to say congratulations to Captain Valance and the work that he's doing with the team and the way he does what he does. But I just want to remind him around that conversation on social media and parents paying attention to social media with some of these children that goes missing. Yeah, it's an important role that parents need to pay attention to, and I'm sure he can speak more to it in the work that he does in terms of finding missing teens.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. And let me just make the point. So, caller, you're raising a very important point. Natasha and Gat, many of the youngers, the runaway teenagers, the platform they use is Instagram, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then as a parent, you will probably know to check the phone to look for apps and see whether IG is an app on the thing, and then you see, you don't see it and you say, okay, all is well. But there are apps to hide apps.
Yes.
There are apps to hide apps.
On the phone.
On the phone.
Yeah.
And additionally, for example, Natasha, I could delete IG on my way home. And next morning, I'll be that change photos, I return in, I put it back, I install it, and everything comes back on, just like WhatsApp.
Yep.
I'm sure running rings around.
So, and I think that's the point that the caller is making, and we well versed in it.
Yes.
So remember earlier I had spoken about a toolbox of little devices we could deploy to parents. That's what we do. We talk to them about it when their loved one go missing, and we try to help them, navigate that territory.
6223937, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hi, morning.
Hi, God. Natasha, good morning.
Morning.
God, I'd like to speak to you, please. What number could I call and leave my number for you?
6284955. Leave your number with security downstairs, and I'll get it when I finish, when we come off here.
Okay, thank you very much, dear. And congratulations to Mr. Rambarat, because I went and visited his booth, and he's doing excellent job.
Expo,
At the Agri Expo, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well
Thanks.
done. Thank you.
Thanks.
6223937.
622-3937 is the number to call.
Hello, good morning. And before the number, Natasha, could you put this this number up? Could you put this number up on the Facebook for Imani Miller? So who wants to let's start helping this youngster. We talk about always helping young people, and so let's start helping this youngster by donating to her cause. The number is 367-5295. 367-5295. This is for Imani Miller and her fundraising effort to represent Trinidad and Tobago. And when they come in studio tomorrow, next Sunday, you'll hear more about it, right?
Yes.
So,
and I will also post the flyer that her mother, Lisa, would have sent.
Yes.
I will post it on the Iron Dependency Facebook page so that you can get all the details about how to contribute.
hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
Natasha, God, and Mr. Amarat.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I want to thank Mr. Amarat so much for this, good job that he's doing and, making a lot of people much happier than they were before and things like that. But sometimes, at my age now, I'm so sorry that I wasn't younger, because when I was younger, I was very active with things like what he's doing there, and I would have loved to be on his team. And it's just making me have goose pimples. I'm talking now, but I'm having goose pimples. And I really, really admire him and the good work that he's doing. He's one of the best we have right now in Trinidad and Tobago.
Call I'm 60 years old, huh?
That is nothing. I'm older than you are by far to be a mom. Right, so I want to thank you very much and God's richest blessings with what you're doing, and please continue the good job. I hope that one day a lot of people would come out and, give you praise that you are so well deserved of. I thank you.
All right, thanks. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank
Like
you.
Shortpan was saying, he's not here in the caller, Tom, so I don't know if so it wasn't coming over the air or on the broadcast, but please keep your calls coming in, 622-3937 for Captain Rambarat of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team. A very interesting program this morning, a little departure from our normal programming, but worthwhile.
We have to take time and stop and smell the roses. We're doing that here this morning.
Yes, cut the bush, as the case may be.
Yeah, but they're still an important part of national security because they assist our forces in doing the work of locating and sometimes even rescuing folks. So, hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. You're live on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning. I wanted to ask Mr. Rambarat if they ever had any cases where persons would have, well, what I would say, they weren't really missing. Let's say in the case of a young person, say they ran away from home to, to go to a party or something like that. They run away for a host of different reasons. But even if older persons, they more or less wasted your time then. So I wanted to know if you all ever had cases like that, and if so, what comes out of that? Because sometimes, we as citizens seen so much of missing persons sharing it, and then we just see found, we don't know what had happened to them. So I wanted to know what happens in a case like that, if it is any charges are brought once you all investigate. That's what I wanted to know, please.
All right. So, basically, we've dealt with many cases like that. These teenagers run away for various reasons. It could be something as simple as being denied a device, a phone, or connection to Wi-Fi. We've had cases where, once the July-August vacation approaches, we see an increase in missing teenagers. We saw it for the Point 14 Borough celebrations this year, where 2 or 3 teenagers from down that area went missing. With respect to what we say when they are found, I mentioned earlier that we guided by the laws of Trinidad and Tobago and the laws with respect to minors, and it's specific. And children has to be protected at all times. And if you go through the Children's Act and the Sexual Offences Act, and every other piece of legislation with respect to children, then you have to be careful. You have to be very, very careful. And so most of the times when they're found, they have to be, the police has to get involved. And so we report them found while the investigations are ongoing. And in most cases, the police service has trained professionals to support. You remember, there's the Child Protection Unit, there's the Gender-Based and Violence Unit, and they have a whole support system to take care of these children and to counsel them and to guide them, which is what is needed. In our case, once they're found and they've been taken care of, well, we move on to the next case.
Yes, that is very important, that if it's identified that there is abuse of some kind that is going on, that the child is running away from, that the home environment, the family environment is addressed, so that, you would prevent any such
and they have
again.
so much support for children.
Children's
when they
Authority,
have issues.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. 622-3937. We have Captain Valence Rambarat of the Hunter Search and Rescue Team in studio with us this Sunday.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Tommy. Morning to the whole panel there. It's not coming over the radio, Tommy.
I'm just trying to rectify that.
I think we've addressed it now.
I think it's
yes.
Natasha, know everything.
Yes. Let me say commendations to the captain, and Garth, your comment last week was profound, brother. I just want to say that to you. When people like you speak, I had to listen. I don't want to become no hater, regardless of the situation.
I got some enemies for saying that. Imagine that. But
when people like you speak, I listen. I lost my brother-in-law, but at the end of the day, when people like you speak, because I know you are a genuine man, I listen. Right? I don't want to become no hater. I was never no hater, right? Because I know there's a better place after here. So I appreciate that comment you made. I stood up and listen. But to the captain, good work, commendations to you, brother. I didn't know you was the former agriculture minister, brother. And may God bless you and keep you and the good work that you all are doing. And may you continue. And do you all need any resources? Because I heard you in another place stating that, you like some resources probably from the private sector or anybody that's willing to donate in carrying out your tasks.
Good question, my brother.
Right. So Gati, as I say, love you, brother, and you're a genuine man. And I listen, brother, I listen to what you said. All the hurt that I feel, I understand where you come. I still believe in God law, Still believe in God law,
yes.
But as I understand where you came from, brother, is a genuine man. Until white. Good morning.
Thank you, Neil. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Yes, somebody's on the line. Good morning. Hello, good morning. 622-3937. If we're having a little technical difficulty this morning, but we working around it, and let's see how at least we sort out you hearing us. So, good morning.
I'm hearing the callers, most importantly.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Natasha. Morning, Garth.
Hey, Mr. Commissioner Philbert. Morning.
Morning, Garth. I'm listening to you and the head of the unit there. I want to congratulate him and his team. I've always found that they came to fruition in a very, very opportune time, a time when that is needed because of the flurry, if you want to call it, of the situation. You know? Yes. Of course, my background was investigations, and we did a lot of exhumations. We did a lot of with bone findings. We were guided by certain things to find bone bodies and so on. One of the things that has always bothered me, and I've spoken about it, if you consider what is happening now, and I like to put it in the context of an industry, death and disposal. I have had a peeve with cemeteries that are kept open all night and available to the public. Because that's one of the places that, if you read back in times in terms of disposal, it's one of the places that you can dispose bodies very easily. If the opportunity is for, and I saw something happen in Sandy Grande, which is so gruesome.
Yes.
And it has taken this thing to a different level.
True.
But it says that people are able to go into this place and do anything they want when nobody's looking or nobody's paying attention. So I pass and I see cemetery gates open all night. They're not locked. Nobody's paying attention to them. They're not lit up. They are left dark. But those are places where anybody could go on the very said evening of a funeral, remove some moat and dispose of a body and put it back. And it will be none the wiser, and Captain Ramrock will be searching all his life all over the place without any knowledge that there's this body resting on top of another body in the cemetery in a freshly dug grave.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
So that's part of the whole scheme of things in terms of searching for people, because I also remember, similar to the burned body, we had a situation like that in Tableland many years ago, and an officer, Miss Donami Tom, and I went to the house to inquire about this missing man, and we found bones in the back of the building from a fire which perhaps had been lit and put out weeks before, and that inquiry told us where that missing person was, and we dealt with the issue. So fires and burials are main ways by which people dispose of bodies. In terms of people who are dementia and so on, people who were hunters would venture, because those people live in the past. They have hardly any good memory of recent things. So they live in the past, and people who are accustomed going into the bushes will wander into the bushes. And their conversation will be with you of things of the past. So I think that's something that we must pay close attention to. And the more information you get about these people, is the better chance you have of locating them, and the sooner too. So that the disappearance, like those people who suddenly disappear, we have had that in the past. We just saw them, when you turn your back, they're gone. It's not a mystery. It's the information you need. Sometimes they get into a bust. Sometimes they get a ride with somebody who hears a strange story. So it's a lot. But I want to congratulate him and his team, because I always wonder how they came about to do this and where do they get this energy from. And a lot of people have said this morning good things in support of them. But I think what we have to focus on is resourcing them with what they need to continue in this realm. So I just want to congratulate them and to add my little piece to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Phil.
May I say to former Commissioner of Police James Philbert, it was nice hearing from you. You have a lot of experience. Your experience just shone through with the explanation that the open cemeteries we have in Trinidad is certainly a easy disposal ground for bodies, and then you shared your experience with the elder folks in terms of they wandering off, and I think you know your beans when you said clearly that they go back to their childhood memories and that sort of thing, and that's what we found with our experience with the Alzheimer's. Persons who suffer from Alzheimer's. So, Commissioner James Philbert, your experience has shone through this morning. Keep well. I wonder if you're still in Point 14.
I am. I'm actually in Point 14 now speaking to you.
All right.
It
was great hearing from you.
If I could have taken away some years of my standing now, I would join you, man.
Oh, that would have been certainly welcome, sir.
You gotta get permission from the boss, and he can't leave home just so again.
Don't tell you to that level.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much.
But before we go, God, I want the captain to talk about some of the resources that you need.
Well, God, the thing about it is we probably have everything we need right now, but resources have a lifespan. For example, a snake boots wouldn't take you more than 2 years in terms of what we do.
Right.
And it needs there's constant replacement. Apart from that,
would you need a cadaver dog?
No, I don't think we want to get into the cadaver dogs. What we will do is try to assist the TTPS because they have an entire canine unit.
Yes.
Right.
And we could assist the TTPS with getting good dogs from abroad. If they could work with us and they could get all the import licenses and things organized. We have had offers from all over the world for dogs. There are dogs now that will, there's no need to go in the pond. If there's a cadaver in there, it releases a gas and the dog will just stand there and pick it up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you raise a good issue. The issue of dogs. Dogs are doing a tremendous amount of police work in all jurisdictions,
yes,
and in the major
world.
Jurisdictions of the world.
Yep.
And I think we could do with some improvement in that area. And I can't speak for the police service, but we do know the canine unit, and we are willing to help because some of these offers with some of the best dogs in the world, they come to us, but we it would be costly to maintain dogs and
absolutely,
all our logistics. The canine unit has it.
Yeah.
We take one more before we wrap up. 622-3987. So we can have a chance to take one. So, Captain, in the meantime, we want to really thank you for being with us here this morning, and give you the opportunity now to go and join the rest of the team in
Blanchishes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm mindful of the weather because
hello, good morning.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Morning.
You heard the man mention about cadaver. What that is?
Could you speak up, sir?
He's asking what a cadaver dog is.
Oh, a cadaver dog is one that is, we have bomb sniffing dog, you have drug sniffing dog. A cadaver dog is one trained to sniff out dead bodies.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right,
yeah, that's what they do. And
Yes.
to the Natasha,
This is how useful animals are to us.
Yes.
A lot of animals also work and volunteer their time to assist humans. So
and I wanted to share something with you all before I go, and we'll elaborate on it next week, please God, where Natasha, remember I shared something with you about the drugs that was found in, there's a story of a ship, a yacht that sank in the U.S. just recently.
Yeah, that was hit by a tornado.
They said it was hit by a tornado.
Yes.
And
there were some survivors.
Right.
And the survivors of that shipwreck, so to speak, because it was a shipwreck, were drug tested.
No. Because and next week, please God, I'll go into that. You see, when I asked the police and when I sent out the plea about killing people, and believe me, people, there are people who go to church every Sunday, praise God, and come back home and praise the police service for killing people. I just don't understand how that works hand in hand. But I understand the frustration we facing. However, why I ask that question and make that plea is we don't know what we're fighting against and we don't know what we're working up against. And if we kill everybody, then we will never get answers.
Correct.
So which means if let's say I take drugs from somebody and I decide not to pay them, or I decide to play smart with them, and then they send 6 people to kill me. And the person who sent the people to kill me, if the police kill them, then we still have that person out there to give more people drugs and to destroy the country. So we're just going on in a vicious cycle. But if we save some and we take them in for questioning and we find, then we could take down a bigger fish. But we cannot be bloodthirsty. We have to be different from the people who are bloodthirsty. We have to be different. I saw a shootout. No, there was a shootout by a supermarket yesterday that went viral. No, there was a shooting because they pulled up in a wagon and started an open fire on a vehicle that was parked in the supermarket car park. Now, if police pass in the same time and see that and police take them out, I applaud the police for that. Because these guys were actually shooting at another vehicle in public.
Right.
Broad daylight, they pull up in front of the supermarket.
So somebody could have catch a stray bullet.
You understand?
Right.
So if police passing there and saw that and dropped them too, I would have applaud the police for that, because they encountering people with live fire, immediately. And this is the point I was making. The bodies recovered over the course of this week, taking the death toll from the disaster to 7. This is the shape we're talking about here now. A manslaughter probe has been launched, and the lead prosecutor, Camerano, said officials were trying to conduct alcohol and drug tests on the survivors, adding that they would be interviewed to find out exactly why 7 lives were lost.
Yep.
This is what we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago, collecting data. Matthew Perry died just recently, famous actor from Friends. And what happened? You know who's arrested now? The people who sold them the ketamine and the meth that they found in the system. Right? This is what I'm talking about. They actually could arrest someone for killing Matthew Perry. If we kill everybody, we will be forever chasing our tail in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
That is my point.
And it doesn't bring justice to the victims of the crime either, because retributive justice is not what we want to go towards. We want to go towards restorative justice, which means finding out why human beings do things and punishing them accordingly.
And with regard to the death penalty, you know what I would prefer? A man go to prison and work for the rest of his life and put money in a fund to take care of families that he distress. Right? To me, hanging a man is the easy way out. Because after I kill everybody in this building, I supposed to suffer. No, you hang me, what happened? That's the easy way out for me as far as I'm concerned. So let's think about it now. And you see the blood, the thirst for blood, we need to stop that. Because it makes us no different from the fellas who run around with guns killing people.
Correct.
We need to draw a line somewhere. Captain?
Absolutely.
Closing remarks.
Well, it's a pleasure being on the program here. I enjoyed sharing the information with you on your last discussion with Natasha. I will always say this, as an educator, the only way to bring about behavioral change is through education. It's something that I deeply believe in, and I think in terms of solving some of the problems of the country, we have to look at it. We have to ask ourselves the question, why aren't so many people not feeding at the trough of education? How could we begin to sort that out? You had 39% pass rate in maths, was really going on, and look at it. But I've seen persons change once they sit down and they listen to, and they get some education. I've seen it.
Yes.
I believe in that system, and it was a pleasure again being with you all and sharing all the information. I have a whole team anxiously awaiting for my arrival in Blanchishes.
Yes.
I did take time out to spend some time with you all. I enjoyed it. And I must say about your listenership, they ask intelligent questions. I must say that to you all, and I enjoyed responding to them. So you all have a great day.
Yes, thank you, sir.
And how many years on Dependency?
24 years.
24
Continue the good work.
Yes, we will. And to you out there, folks, please be careful. All right? There are fentanyls around. People putting all kind of thing in marijuana now for you children to smoke. Please, please, please keep your guard up. Keep your neck on a swivel. Keep focused. Keep vigilant, for God's sake. They are coming for you. They are coming for your children because they are doing succession planning. Please, please be aware. Major news up next with Mr. Kyle Saunders. Thank you for your time. Kyle, thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Take care.